All right, guys, welcome to our first A&A weekend podcast. So this is a new thing we're going to try out where we just, we're going to have a topic and we're going to talk about it and just kind of discuss like what you guys get to see live with our music reactions. We're planning on just doing that with some music topics, general questions.
I think it would just be kind of cool. Just like take random interesting topics and we can just talk about it for like 10 minutes on the fly.
Yeah.
I feel like as good friends, we generally have good conversations about all kinds of random topics all the time.
Yeah.
So why not just like throw a camera up and then talk about it?
And it can be stuff that you guys want to know too. So not just music related. Although this one's topic, as you can see down below, is why everyone should learn to play music, or should you learn to play music, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the future, let us know any other topics, any questions, general stuff that will just be long form discussions. So that being said, why should people learn to play music, dude?
Right off the bat, I feel like, so as an opening statement, I really do believe that you can't fully appreciate pretty much any music that you hear until you've at least like picked up any instrument and just like looked at it and been like, wow, this is a lot harder than it looks. Or, like, or, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like you can't really appreciate a good guitar solo until you've at least picked the guitar up for even 30 seconds and then tried to do something and go, oh wow, my hand coordination isn't even good enough to where I can even like pluck and where my fingers on the fret at the same time. You know what I mean? Same with the piano. You can't really appreciate a good piano piece until you've sat there and gone, oh wow, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I don't know how I would coordinate my left and my right hand together to actually like build off each other.
I feel that,
you know what I mean?
Dude, to me, I think at least the thing that I find more important in music is not the ability to play music, although that's a big one.
Yeah.
But to me, I think a lot of people think of any hobby they have, painting or music or dancing or whatever it is, as this is this thing I do, and then the rest of my life is something different, right? For me, as somebody who's into the physics program and is a mathematician and all this other stuff, has a bunch of other things that tie in with it. Music has helped me think about problems differently. Like I know when I'm working through problems, when I'm working through stuff in my daily life, any other activities, a mindset of having been creative with a musical instrument, having that sort of mentality, which is a whole new neural connection. It's something that
it really is.
It really is. It's something totally different.
And that neural, like all that starts to unlock not when you first pick it up, not the first like day really, but there's a certain like so you first start and there's kind of like a little like mountain you have to climb, but the first peak isn't that high up.
It
like,
really is.
With guitar, I say like first thing you do potentially, everyone's different. Everyone has different like ideas of how you should start. First thing you should do, pick it up, plug it in an amp, and kind of like just play random notes. I would say just noodle around for like however long you feel like, and then eventually you can maybe like learn like a scale if you want, put on a metronome to start like messing around a little bit. But then after you kind of like learn your like a scale or two, and then like even a couple cowboy chords, and then play the metronome, you slowly start to unlock. Wow, I have like free will, in terms of like I can choose where I want to like route notes. Yeah. And then once you write your first even tiny anything, you kind of like it just changes how you view like instruments and how you view anything. Like let's say like just like businesses, like how someone starts like gets the idea for a business, how someone like you can't just Google how to start a business, just because like no one's gonna tell you some bright idea.
Well, you definitely can.
Well, for sure, but I'm saying like they can tell you how to get started physically, but in terms of like what idea to use to start, like you can like how to build a riff, but you can't just follow concrete instructions to build a good like guitar solo and have it be like genuine, really. Yeah. I mean, you kind of can. The thing is simulated.
Being genuine. Yeah, being honest and genuine.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like I said, to me, why everyone should learn to play music, or why everyone should at least dabble in something creative in that aspect, because it doesn't have to be music, although music is the one that I've found with him to be the most.
This is one of the branches that you can kind of take with stuff like that. Like you have dance, like art, like just like painting, drawing.
Any creative outlet.
Seriously.
And so the reason for that is not for the art itself, although that's a great thing. But to me, it's not only going to help you in thinking about problems and thinking about situations moving forward, helping you get those new neural connections, but also emotionally, one of the best outlets I've ever had.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Still do. Bad day, play music. Great day, play music. Everything in between.
Just the general mental like stimulation that like comes from it can't really be compared to much else. The only way I could really describe it is, how like you speak a language. You speak English, you might speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
Now imagine conveying your emotion and kind of like channeling your inner energy through a medium that is not language. Like you're not saying it, you know what I mean? Like you're expressing these feelings through like sound that isn't language. Yeah. It's the only way I can like really describe it. And I feel like, let's say like also the complete random segue. So I feel like modern day, a lot of music that gets big leans much further away from instrumentals and more into just vocals, because people appreciate vocals a lot because everyone's tried to sing.
Yeah, in a shower.
Everyone knows how much harder it is than like it, might come off at first. But not everyone's like picked up an instrument. So I feel like that's probably a reason why a lot of modern music and let's say past music too gets like a lot of like the music with good vocals kind of like rises up because people appreciate good vocals. Like, wow, I cannot sing that, and they'll sing it in the car with the volume all the way up and they sound good. But the second they turn the volume down, they're like, whoa, that was rough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I feel like that's part of the reason of why like a lot of modern music is like ruled by like good vocals and not as much by good instrumentals. With that said, there are still tons of like shows that you can go to where people are still playing music and people are still there to watch it. It's just like not as much as let's say like it used to be back in the 70s or that type of era.
No, I would agree. I think that really, again, the ultimate point is it's such an easy one to get into. You know, of course you can go buy an expensive instrument, but I mean, we have a lot of people who we've seen in the comments that are like are part of families, have parents, have kids especially, and or are teachers or whatever. And it's to me, it's such an important thing. I think the distinction between the arts, creativity, and academic stuff is often one that's separated when it really shouldn't be. When it really, like, part of the reason I think that I'm good in school and, like, I mean, not tooting our own horn, but we're in STEM majors. Like, it's difficult. And I think a big portion of that comes from my mom playing guitar when I was younger and me being like, man, I really want to play guitar. And learning guitar, I think I started in, like, 3rd grade. Is probably when I started.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about, like, being academically successful, I feel like for young people, if any young people are watching, you have to make sure you're passionate about something that isn't just school.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of like mental health, like if I go to class and I just worked the night before, I'm tired, I haven't gotten to like do anything that I want to do, I walk into class, I'm tired, I'm not feeling it, it's much harder to learn when just your morale, like you're not motivated as an individual, really. Like it's much harder to learn. Now if you're walking to class, you had like 8 hours of sleep, you got to play like something the other day, whatever your passion is, you got to exercise that for even 20 minutes the previous day, and you're just feeling good, you're ready to learn, you're ready to do some work. You know what I mean? Just in general, like you're gonna be more productive. I guess the better way to say it is not just academics, but you'll probably be more productive of a person if you're exercising some type of passion in your life. Probably.
Yeah, you need an outlet. You need an outlet, and as far as there are physical ones, so like I played football growing up. I was on the USF rowing team. Like, there are physical outlets that do similar things to music.
Yeah,
I think the reason for music though is it pushes past that a little bit. It's similar in an outlet. Like, I do think that there's an importance in. I mean, I'm sure you agree, like some sort of physical activity, especially growing up, because not only does it make you healthier and all that sort of stuff, but it helps regulate hormones, helps regulate mood.
Yeah, 100%.
But music does that as well as going further into helping you in your mental state post and like to a longer extent. It's not just immediate you feel better. It's a long-term changing the way that you think.
Yep. And also, like, if any of you have not picked up an instrument you've always wanted to, but you always felt like, oh, it's not for me, I won't be good enough, all this stuff, I would say, like, if you pick up, like, you can go on Amazon, get a keyboard or guitar for around $100 or less, like, easily. You don't need the best instrument to start. Everyone thinks you have to, like, if I'm doing this hobby, I'm going to do it right, get this, like, super expensive guitar, super expensive amp. You don't really have to do all that at first. Really, just get, like a cheap guitar, cheap piano, whatever you want. And if you sit there and play that for 10 minutes, like, probably the first day spend about half an hour to an hour, like, noodling, just getting, like, into it a little bit, and after that 10 minutes a day, after a month, you'll be significantly better than you ever thought you could be on that instrument.
So
just
what
10
I'll
minutes,
say,
really.
So I got my first instrument was like a Walmart crappy guitar, right?
Same.
I think your first instrument, because I agree with you and disagree with you, but I think we'll probably end up coming to the same conclusion. My first instrument was like a first act, really shitty instrument. Just enough.
I've had one of those.
Yeah, it's like a starter. Just enough to learn it and know what a guitar feels like.
Yes. I
think your second instrument is the most important instrument you get.
Yeah.
For me, I spent an entire summer mowing lawns, and I saved like $280 up. I mean, it was back when I was getting like $5 a lawn, so it took a long time to get. Like, it was like $5-10 a lawn. It was a lot. It was a lot of lawns I had to mow. Yeah. And I saved like $280 up and got a PVT 27, which was my first guitar, and it was like a 1980s PVT 27. And what I will say is that don't pick a guitar online for your second guitar. First guitar, get a cheap one. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Second guitar, to me, I don't buy instruments online. I think it's important, really important, to feel them. I think I can. There are, I've played 8 of the same guitar. Like, literally, gone to Guitar Center, played 8 of the same guitar, and every one feels different. And so I think it's super important to go in, especially for your second one, because you don't fall in love with an instrument on your first one. You fall in love with your second one.
Yeah.
The second one is the one usually that you put more time, more effort into, and it's usually such a giant jump from your first instrument.
So
mine was
true.
it wasn't that much more expensive. Like mine was $100 more.
Yeah. But a $100 guitar versus a $300 guitar is a big difference in the quality of the guitar. So I will say I agree and disagree with you slightly.
Okay, yeah, go
so
ahead.
my second guitar was bought online, but I feel like I just knew that was my guitar. You know what I mean?
Dude,
it's for a specific reason. So as you guys know, huge, like, I got into Pink Floyd probably 2 years ago. I heard Comfortably Numb when I was in a very, like, just relaxed state. The second guitar solo, I was like, holy crap. The next day, I bought a guitar off Amazon. It was like a shitty Ibanez. Played the crap out of that guitar for like 2 years. And I was like, that's it. Time for a second guitar. Yeah. And I was like, I want David Gilmour's guitar, Black Strat. So I ordered it off like from Guitar Center online. It was probably like $600. I saved up for a hot minute to get that. And the second it came in, the second I held it, I was like, this is my guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ever since then, like whenever I pick it up now, I feel like I'm almost like one with it, almost like emotionally like bound with it. And I do, but I feel like for most people though, you are right, 100%.
No, here's what I think. I think that you like. Of course, you can buy a guitar online, and it's going to be so much better than your last guitar that it's going to feel amazing. But I guarantee you, dude, I love you to death, but I think you're wrong. I think if you would have gone to a store and you would have picked out 6 Black Strats, and you can test this. We'll go to Guitar Center. Like, grab 6 Black Strats, play each one of them. You're going to find one is going to play better than all the rest. And you could have had that one.
100% correct. I will yield to that point.
That being said, it doesn't really matter. But, like, for the future... Find a guitar.
My third guitar will definitely be in person.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Oh, 100%.
You'll probably be coming with me, too, because I feel like you'll help me pick my guitar out.
Yeah, I will.
With that said, if you're ever, like, curious to, like, get into music, I would tell you just go wherever, get a shitty, like, $100 instrument, and then just kind of, like, play the crap out of it for a couple months. If you like it, get a second, get the next tier up. But I would say there's really no negatives, and it might seem at first intimidating when you first start, but after you get past that first hump, which it really doesn't take long, probably like a month or less than a month to get past that first hump. Once you get past it, it's smooth sailing from there. It becomes not a chore, not like something that you're doing because you feel like you have to, or like because it's like it doesn't feel like work anymore. There is a point where it's just like wow, like it's like an investment of your time, and it has immense emotional like payout, like return investment.
Now, what are your thoughts on like music lessons? Because you didn't take them either, right?
I took them for a minute. I felt bad. My parents were paying for them too.
Yeah.
But I was not feeling it, dude. Only because they were trying to teach me like classically through the book, like notes, and I wasn't into it, dude. Like I wanted to just like learn like physically the guitar. I knew in 5 years, even if I got so good at that style, I didn't see myself playing out of like a music staff. I didn't see myself playing classical guitar. That's not where I saw myself. You know what I mean?
So I have a couple stories with that. So for me personally, I was self-taught. So I taught myself. I mean, self-taught as much as you can be.
And I feel like in the end, if you're dedicated to like improving,
if you love it,
YouTube can get you extremely far. I would say in guitar at this point, free content and. The thing is with like YouTube, it's like capitalism. It's competitive. There's all these different guitar YouTubers, and they're all going to do their best to deliver the best product. And therefore, there will be videos that will teach you probably exactly what you need. Now, with that said, there's going to be some like in the rough that aren't really like helping you. But if you watch like 10 guitar videos and try and get the most out of them, you'll be in a better place than when you started. And you don't need to pay money for it, really. And there are apps also that can help you out.
Yeah, I say it's definitely more accessible to learn an instrument now more than ever. I know when my 100%. Mom was going, because my mom played guitar. She just did a little bit of finger picking. She wasn't a virtuoso, but she would sing and play. Mm-hmm. And when she was learning, she always wanted to play like classic rock music and wanted to play like a great solo. She loved Rush growing up, so she wanted to play like Rush. And she was went to a couple music lessons for a while, and she was not even a couple. It was like probably 3 months worth of music lessons where she was trying to learn how to play. Solos, and she's told me this story when she was trying to get me into music lessons, and she was like, I spent 3 months doing it, and at the end of it, I was so sick. He just had me doing so sick of it. He just had me doing chords and had me doing scales, and he was just showing me these tiny little scales, and I was done with it. I was like, you know what? I came here and I told you what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to play solos, and you didn't teach me that. And this guy was like, show me what I taught you. And so she played the scale, and then he played the scale and played a little faster, played a little faster, played a little faster, and by the end of it, he was playing a solo that was crazy.
Some Karate Kid type
it was
shit,
some Karate
like
Kid
wax
shit.
On, wax off.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Daniel, you really
I taught you how to play.
Yeah, you really know it the whole
so,
time.
I mean, with what I said about like you can teach yourself, I'm saying that as like don't feel like there's a paywall for you to learn an instrument. There is not a paywall. Now, if you do want to go like the proper route and get lessons, and you are committed to it, you will become a decent musician.
So my point with that is, I agree. I think online lessons are usually the way to go. Sometimes physical lessons are good.
It's more accessible.
You want to find somebody who's going to teach you the way you want. So as long as there's communication is an important thing, like anything, right? So my mom came to him, here's what I want to learn, and he was teaching her, here's how you learn it, right? So sometimes you're not always going to feel like you're getting exactly what you want, but as long as there's open communication saying, are we still reaching my goal, right?
Yeah.
Then I would just be careful. I think it's way safer to do online music lessons. I think if you're doing physical, they can be very helpful. I taught music for a while, so I knew I taught it in a way that I thought was really beneficial. But I know that I'm sure there was tons of kids who didn't learn it as good as they could from somebody else. You know, it's such a personal thing. So
with that said, I feel like we've been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
I hope our little our first installment of the weekend Andy and Alex podcast did potentially inspire you to pick up an instrument, or if it didn't, I hope, just it can help you invest yourself in any passion, really. If you don't already have a passion, I feel like just having a passion just makes you kind of like well-rounded. And you don't have to be well-rounded if you don't want to. But with that said,
you can be trying.
I would say my life is better after I picked up a guitar.
Trapezoid.
Just personally.
Other shit.
Right? But, yeah. But that's
We're just a couple of regular polygons
here.
That's
what I'm saying, dude.
But yeah,
okay. Yeah, but with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this first installment. And if you liked it, let us know below. If you want,
we'll be changing stuff up.
Yeah,
maybe we'll change the background and some other stuff.
Literally, give us topics down below you might like us to talk about, because we sat here for a minute like, what are some topics? Yeah. So if you want, give us some topics so we can cherry pick through them, and like we got to talk about that for about 10-15 minutes. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, let us know how you feel about this.
One of the topics we talked about was literally like, all right, best chicken wing place, because we're fond. Yeah, we
could talk about that for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Either way,
let us know.
Yep. See you guys next time. Have a fantastic day.
Woo!